So we discussed environment, we discussed immersion. Now we're going to talk about practice, all right? That's the third thing in the beginning of my journey to becoming a full-time artist, a full-time musician, a full-time producer, music creative, what have you. And I'm sure you've noticed my background has changed. That's because it's a few years later that I'm continuing the series, as I've still been practicing what I've been preaching before, and it continues to help me elevate where I'm at. So I know this stuff is really going to help you elevate. So I'm going to continue what I did to maintain my growth and what you can do to help maintain yours. So practice is super important, y'all. Practice is going to help you become well prepared, rehearsed, and ready for any opportunity that comes your way. There's a famous saying, a quote that says, luck is really not luck, it's opportunity meets preparation. That wholeheartedly is true from my own experience over these 20 years. When you're prepared for the opportunity, when it comes, you're able to take advantage of that and continue in growing your career. And the first thing you need to understand before you start practicing is understanding your weakness. Now, what is your weakness? Your weakness could be anything that you find is too hard to do, or something that a friend or a supporter of yours has said, hey, you know what? That's not you. That's not the right thing. So strengths are going to be things that come natural to you, things that are easy. You may be awesome at rapping verses, but you may be horrible at rapping like a singing style hook. Maybe that's one thing you want to practice. You want to sit down and practice weaknesses, because we all have only a limited time in each day. So you want to make sure you are getting the most out of that time that you spend. So if you spend time practicing, why waste time on your strengths when it's your weaknesses that are holding you back, right? So work on your weaknesses on purpose. Practice should be about having trouble doing what you're doing. If you can't play a scale at a certain tempo, work on the scale at that tempo. When you get good at that, then go to the next tempo. If you have trouble memorizing the lyrics to your song while you're dancing, you understand what I'm saying? Don't just sit there and rap and then go and then dance. Practice it all both put together. If you're a singer and you have trouble hearing the pitch while there's loud music playing in the background, then practice that on purpose. That is something that a lot of artists will have trouble with. They'll tend to sing sharp if there's loud music playing, so they'll be able to hear themselves over the music. But you have to practice being able to sing within the right pitch, not drifting above it, right on it, maybe slightly below it, but you still want to be able to hear the pitch that you're on compared to the music that's playing in the background. So that's the first part of practice, understanding what your weaknesses are. The second thing you need to remember when it comes to is, it's like a bodybuilder that goes into the gym. You don't want to there's a certain point where you want to, eventually with practice, you're going to regain those old habits that created your weaknesses to begin with, right? So you have to stay